Warning: Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Crackers, 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 crackers. Trust these crackers.
What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you hit that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. With that being said, family, welcome back to another broadcast. First and foremost, I got to do a little house cleaning, family. Got to do a little house cleaning. Yesterday, we did the broadcast about our brother Kyrie, and unfortunately, I played a video that I thought was his mother. Come to find out, it was not his mother. It was an AI-generated video. And, you know, number one, this goes to show the dangers of AI technology. But number two, there's a whole conversation being had about whether it's okay to generate something like that if it brings awareness to a situation. And I would have to say 100%. No, it isn't okay at all. You know, it takes away from everything when you can just create a video out of nowhere without any type of okay or permission from the people that you're creating the video about. I feel like that's highly disrespectful. But I wanted to bring it to you guys. I wanted to let you guys know that I made a mistake. I played that video thinking it was the mother, and unfortunately, it was just AI. Now, with that being said, today, family, we're going to have a much lighter topic. I'm going to, I'm trying to hold it in while I tell you. Family, there's a lot to talk about today. I want to surprise you, right? I want you to, I know you see the title, I know you see the thumbnail, and I got to let you know ahead of time. I got to give you a disclaimer. This isn't about Prince, ladies and gentlemen. This is not about Prince. Although Prince has a very big to-do with this situation. However, you will not be disappointed whatsoever. Now, family, today I want to show you the dangers of tying yourself to a political party in itself. Darn it. Trust me, you're not going to be disappointed in this. Trust me. Why do I do that? Look, when we get into the subject matter, you'll understand why I put Prince on this thumbnail. And trust me, there is a place here for him, because, you know, once we get into the subject matter, they're going to invoke his name. So yeah, he was definitely appropriate to put on this thumbnail. But I want to talk to you guys about the dangers of tying yourself to one party and one political platform. One of the major issues that we've had in the Black community is that we've been so conditioned to vote Democrat. And that's not just an issue in our community. You know, there's a lot of that going around. You know, some people are raised to be Republican, just stone cold Republican. Some people are raised to be third party. And in the wake of people finding out that Israel has been paying influencers, has been paying and influencing social media, in the wake of all this, and we're going to talk about that at a later date because I have a lot of juicy information to bring to you guys. But in the wake of this, you're seeing a lot of the Magites come out of nowhere talking about their buyer's remorse when voting for Donald Trump. And I guess they see this as an opportunity to now come together as one, not as the blue party and not as the red party, but they want to create a purple revolution. Let's go here, family.
If you're a leftist, I have a strong fucking message for you. Hi, I'm Hunter Howell, and I want to be your friend. I'm out here reporting outside of the United States of Israel building, and I'm a right-leaning independent creator. Now, just because I lean right on some issues, we all can agree that our government is occupied by Israel, by AIPAC, by Netanyahu, by the IDF, and it's time for a change. And in order to make that change, we need what's called a purple revolution. As you can see, I'm wearing a blue suit with a red tie. Blue and red makes purple. Okay. We can go back to disagreements later, but right now, this point in history is the time to unite. Put petty differences aside, unite over the fact that we have a foreign country occupying our nation's politics, our nation's beautiful capital, and it's fucking enough. If we can unite over that, we can get some serious change accomplished, and then we can go back to disagreeing on some formal policy in regards to domestic issues. But right now, this is what's going to unite us, and we need to stand strong.
All right, family. Now I'm gonna play this second clip before I touch on that first one. All right, let's go here.
Hunter Howell, and I'm a right-wing independent creator. And I'm telling you right now, the issue is not right versus left. It is up versus down. These people at the top do not.
Hold on, family. Is everybody hearing staticky sound? Or is it just, if it's just you, my brother, then I'm gonna have you gotta refresh your stuff. YouTube is messing with us. But if everybody's getting the staticky sound, I might have to refresh my side. Put a 1 in the chat if you're hearing staticky sounds as well. So everybody's hearing the staticky sound. Okay, family, give me 1 second, 1 hot second.
Not care about me, and they definitely don't care about you or your friends either. Okay. And even though I slightly lean right, we might not agree on every policy. I think you're probably a cool ass person. You're probably a great human being. Okay. And I want to share that message of unity and love. loving thy better to be prosperous, okay? I am telling you, it is intentional to keep us divided and mad at each other and blaming each other for all of these problems. And in reality, we all probably want similar things, okay? And in order to get to that place of a better future for our generation, for our children's generation, we have to unite. There are some great people on this app. Friendly Honey Badger, I'm going to tag her, as well as Brian, Purple Revolution himself. They're amazing creators, okay? And I know a lot of you are like, how do we get involved? You're ready? First things first, like, comment, share this video with as many people as you want. If you want to drop a follow, do that as well, okay? Start talking about it. Start uniting with your neighbors. Start doing something kind for someone that you know disagrees with you on a policy standpoint or a political difference in your everyday life right now. We're working on some stuff, and we're going to get back to you, but just know I'm sending you my love. Please pass that love on to your neighbor. If you're a leftist, I have a strong fucking message for you. Hi, I'm Hunter Howell, and I want to be your friend. I'm out here reporting outside of the United States of Israel building, and I'm a right-leaning independent creator. Now, just because I lean right on some issues, we all can agree that our government is occupied by Israel, by AIPAC, by Netanyahu, by the IDF, and it's time for a change. And in order to make that change, we need what's called a purple revolution. As you can see, I'm wearing a blue suit with a red tie. Blue and red makes purple, okay? We can go back to disagreements later, but right now, this point in history is the time to unite. Put petty differences aside, unite over the fact that we have a foreign country occupying our nation's politics, our nation's beautiful capital, and it's fucking enough, okay? If we can unite over that, we can get some serious change accomplished, and then we can go back to disagreeing on some formal policy in regards to domestic issues. But right now, this is what's going to unite us, and we need to stand strong.
Family, can you hear me? These folks are truly messing with my stream today. All right, this is the kind of stream we're going to have here today. All right, all right. I'm down for it. Let's go. All right, family. You see how hard they're messing with the live, so you know it's about to be good. All right, family. So I played those clips. It's a shout out and salute to DSA1 as well as Donna C. Matter of fact, I haven't even gave my shout outs yet. Let me just give a shout out to the family real quick before we continue. A B1 salute and shalom certified B1 salute to Andrea Jones, our sister Aquarius Minded, our sister Hurricane Nisi in the building. At first, I thought we were celebrating Prince's birthday until I looked closely at the title. Shout out to you, Miss Nisi. I apologize for that. Our sister Stolen Ancestors is in the building. Nice to see you, my sister. Hope all is well. Randall Robinson, shout out to you. Our brother Reparations Nation in the building. Much love to you. Mia Kim, much love to you. Thank you for being here, my sister. Black RU is in the building. DSA1, I already shouted you out, but shout out to you again. Our sister Key Prince is in the building. Much love to you. Our sister Tasty Teas with Tony is in the building. Much love to you. Our brother AO is in the building. Much love to you. And B1 salute to everybody who isn't in the chat and to everybody who's going to catch this on the playback. Shout out to Sean Wright as well. And the Big Black God. Much love to you. Affectionate Earth. Much love to you. Want to make sure I got everybody. And Classy K, shout out. Much love to you, as well as Donna C. and Shalonda Cole. Much love to you. All right. So, family, I'm going to play this one more time, and then we're going to jump into it since the stream has been messed with, has been sabotaged. We're going to start this over. Let's go. And I understand, family, please. I don't want to.
If you're a leftist, I have a strong fucking message for you. Hi, I'm Hunter Howell, and I want to be your friend. I'm out here reporting outside of the United States of Israel building, and I'm a right-leaning independent creator. Now, just because I lean right on some issues, we all can agree that our government is occupied by Israel, by AIPAC, by Netanyahu, by the IDF, and it's time for a change. And in order to make that change, we need what's called a purple revolution. As you can see, I'm wearing a blue suit with a red tie. Blue and red makes purple. Okay? We can go back to disagreements later. But right now, this point in history is the time to unite. Put petty differences aside, unite over the fact that we have a foreign country occupying our nation's politics, our nation's beautiful capital, and it's fucking enough, okay? If we can unite over that, we can get some serious change accomplished, and then we can go back to disagreeing on some formal policy in regards to domestic issues. But right now, this is what's going to unite us, and we need to stand strong.
All right, family. Shout out to AO. He said Hunter Biden Jr. Nah. If anything, he's giving off strong Cody Rhodes Jr. vibes, you know, the way he speaks in the speech patterns and things like that. But I digress. Family, I want everybody to understand that he's not talking to us. Of course, because we're not on the blue side. We're independent. But even if we were, understand that he's not talking to us. If he were, he would not have used the language such as we could put our petty differences to the side. Nothing that foundational Black Americans have a grievance about is a petty difference or anything that can be put to the side. And they understand this. Our anti-Black hate crime bill, that is life or death. Reparations, that is life or death. A transformative Black agenda in order to eliminate all the anti-Black policies within law enforcement and within our laws in general. That is life or death. So when he's saying put our petty differences to the side, automatically in my head, right away, I know he's not speaking about us. And I'm going to prove that to you guys in the very easiest way possible. But first, let's play a couple of clips to some people that think that this is a great idea. Let's start off with the Nabiscos.
Something that I find absolutely way too cool to ignore is this purple revolution. Not just the fact, but also the fact that purple is associated with the crown chakra. And the crown chakra is associated with things like consciousness, enlightenment, divinity. So I just think it's so freaking cool how everyone is coming together in a purple revolution and the crown chakra is purple. Just so fucking wild. People make fun of me when I say this is a spiritual war, but I don't know what else to tell you.
Family, I started it off with that because I want you to understand that this has become spiritual. It becomes spiritual. And from here, it only gets better. Just so you know. And this is one of the reasons why, and one of the reasons that Prince is on the thumbnail. Because it's definitely going to get hella spiritual. Let's go here, family. She said it is the purple revolution, and purple is the crown chakra, and this is just so spiritual. Oh, let's get to the people. Let's get to these folks.
So I was scrolling last night and ended up seeing tons of purple revolution videos, which I had never in a million years expected to see. I guess I'm so busy on trying to get the website and things done that I didn't realize other people were actually paying attention to this, but they are, and that's really cool. And most of the videos were really cool, very inspiring. I love seeing how much hope you guys have, because that gives me more hope, because we need a lot of people to do this, pull this off. And, there's some people that are angry or don't agree, and some people I found didn't know what we stood for at all. They just take on off assumptions, or they're going off of a video that someone else made about what someone said. So I thought I would just make a video clarifying the points of the purple revolution. And if you want to participate, we'd love to have you. And if you don't, that's okay too. There's no force here. So let me get started. So number one is we have to stop the administration. Full stop. They're hurting people. They're endangering people physically, financially, emotionally, every way that they can be trying to hurt people. They're doing it. And they started with one group, but they're going to go for all the groups that don't like them. So no one is safe here. So yeah, they have to be stopped. The second one is we have to stop ICE, because that's his wannabe military. He knows he does not control our military. So he had to make his little fake sideline, which is about 15,000 people. And if you think about that versus how many of us there are, if we have enough people, this really shouldn't be a problem. And it doesn't even necessarily go up, surround them, and have them no choice but to surrender or back up. Okay, we want this as peaceful as possible. If we have to take the next step, we will take the next step, because we're not okay with minorities being harassed, period. Okay. Third thing is we want AIPAC out of our government. We want Israel to go bye-bye. No, thank you. We don't need Israel running our government. That's where Project 2025, that's where Project Esther, all this stuff is coming from, is Israel is trying to run our government, and they're doing a pretty darn good job, because they basically bought out both sides. So we need all of the people that are taking out AIPAC money to know that they better stop, or they're just going to be voted out, because our goal is to get rid of all of them. The next thing is we've got to stop lobbying and Citizens United, because this is what allows the elite to control everything. I just saw a thing that says something like the top 10% of wealth, of the money and the control that they put in, because our people are bought and paid for on both sides. This has to stop, because we can't protect minorities. We can't protect the poor. We can't protect anybody as long as that money goes into that government. We can't be
Now, what she's saying is very important when I say that she's not, and they're not talking to us. They're talking to other Nabiscos from across the aisles. They're trying to convince the other Nabiscos. That's what they're talking about here. They're not talking, don't let this protect the minority nonsense fool you. What I'm about to show you is basically the Nabisco and the Nabisco having conversations and trying to barter a way to meet in the middle. In the very same way that the Nabisco did the same thing after emancipation, where the Republican got with the Democrat and subjugated us after the Civil War. They say, you know what, I have to figure out how to put this back on them. So when you're hearing these people, listen to what they're really saying, and they're really not saying nothing. They're really talking about how are we going to move forward now that one foundational Black Americans has set it out. They're not pulling us out for nothing. Nothing is pressing our buttons. Nothing is changing our script or narrative. We're willing and making, not just willing, we are making both parties look like the fools that they are. They're crumbling. So now they're trying to figure out how to hold on to power. That's what all this is. So they're saying, hey, let's meet in the middle. Let's do this deal where we fight this oligarchy here and talk about what we want from this later. Put our petty differences to the side. They're the only ones with petty differences. Because at the end of the day, they're here to uphold the system of white supremacy. They're not trying to eliminate the system of white supremacy and replace it with a system of justice. That's not their goal. So when I say this has nothing to do with us, I mean that 100-fold.
Policy that will protect anyone. So that has to go. And they need to know that right now. The next thing, which is really all through those other things, is to protect human rights, to let everyone exist as they are. They have the right to do that. And we stand for that. Point wins. Unity is what wins. We want everybody's point of view. Like Pete Hegseth acting like women shouldn't be in there. Men, militaries often lose because they don't have women's perspective. They don't have the certain skills that women have. And when you just go off one point of view, companies lose out too. Just all white.
What? Shalom and salute to our brother John's son. Say it again, church. Their ancestors have never been brought to justice. So this is what we're dealing with. Exactly. These are the very same people that was just celebrating Charlie Kirk. And they want us to put our differences to the side. No, they're not talking to us. They're talking about the Nabisco liberal. They're definitely talking to each other right over our heads. And it's important that we understand that and not get involved in this nonsense, because I'm going to show you what happens when we do get involved with this nonsense. How you look when you get involved with the nonsense of the Nabisco.
Man, good. You don't have perspective of a whole bunch of people, and those companies don't thrive. We want to thrive and win as a movement, as a revolution, because we really don't have another choice, do we? We have to win. And the last thing, which is really all of this, but it's what the foundation has to be built on, is unity. It means caring about your neighbor, having conversations, having get-togethers, stop being afraid of your neighbor, getting off of here and taking cookies to people that you weren't talking to before. Are you going to stop to ask them about their political policies, or are you going to jump in there and put out the fire with them? I am not going to ask them their political policies. I'm going to ask them for help. And right now, that is what we're doing. This place is on fire, and it's only going to get worse. Now, as much as he's failing, and he really is, ICE is a problem. And I'm not okay with watching anything that happens. I'm like, they've got to a place where I'm just like, no, I cannot. So unity is important because we need massive numbers. And the thing about unity, because some people are like, well, we have demands on what we want our policies to be. Up front, we want to know the policies. What I know, having run a big company with people of all different backgrounds, is that when they have to go through some hard times together and they're forced to kind of work together, they come out with better ideas. They know each other better. They know each other's backgrounds better. So if you take both sides right now and you sit them down and you try to make demands, you're going to go nowhere. In fact, the left can't even sit and do that. We couldn't get a president elected. And then they want to tell me, well, we want demands. You guys do that to each other. We couldn't even get a president to stop half of this. So that's because we weren't united. It always comes down to unity. Always. Red, blue, purple. You have to have dignity and respect. And we will not be crushed by the rich and the politicians that take the money from them. Absolutely not.
Purple revolution could be the greatest thing to happen to American politics, as far as I can remember, if it gets off the ground and if things can get organized in a way that makes sense. Because what it's actually doing is creating three parties in America instead of the two that just control everything. If you haven't been following along, the Purple Revolution is that guy and Friendly Honey Badger, I think, and they're trying to organize people on the right, like far right MAGA people, to open their eyes and see what's actually going on so that they can be more centrist, because I think that's where a lot of the Purple Revolution wants to be. It's just more centrist. They're starting to realize that MAGA is the alt-right. At some point, it just turned into the alt-right, and they need to get off of it before we just landed a fascist dictatorship without knowing about it. So good that MAGA people are opening their eyes. Great. I'm on the alt-left pipeline, probably the early part of it, not deep in. I'm not anti-capitalist, but I want free, affordable healthcare and affordable housing and affordable food for everyone. Call me leftist, I guess, but I don't think everybody in MAGA or new purple people are going to figure that one out real fast. But I like that there could be three parties, because right now there's no leftist really in government. We have little glimmers of hope, and that's it. Otherwise, there's a bunch of centrists in Democrats, some centrists in Republicans, but a lot of alt-right MAGA people in Republicans. So if we can get a balance here, I'm all for it. So go on with your Purple Revolution, and if you need any advocacy or whatever, go for it. I'll just piss on MAGA people then.
Salute shalom to our sister Rosalind. She says, "My people, please remain separate from these devils. They are up to no good, as they always are, my sister, as they always are." This man's talking about a third party. Foundational Black Americans have already created our third party. It's called President Couch and Vice President Love Seat. Check it out. Let's go here.
If you're against the Purple Revolution because you don't want to work with people who are formerly MAGA, falling into their trap. Authoritarian regimes like to create a divide and conquer strategy. And yeah, it's real fun to hate on MAGA. But we got to remember, these are people leaving a cult. We have to create a space to help those people see the light. We don't need left.
These are people leaving the cult. We got to create space, a safe space for them to see the light. Young lady, as a leftist, you're in a cult too. You're in a cult. They're in a cult. You run with their lies. They run with their lies. I find it hilarious. But notice, like I said, this isn't about us at all. Salute to our brother Reef in the building. Much love to you, family. Much love to you.
In the Purple Revolution. We just need you guys to promote it, because we just need a space to bring red to the fucking revolution table. You guys are already there. And the way that we do that is by finding our commonality. And our commonality is that we can all see that both left and right entrenched politicians are corrupt as fuck. This is not about meshing them together and being centrist. Fuck no. It's about radical revolution. And in order to do that, we have to get as many people to the revolution table as possible. The right and the left coming together doesn't have to be centrist. The political spectrum is more of a circle. The right and left can come together in the centrist way, but there's also this other side of the circle, which is more of the revolutionary side of the circle. This is where far leftists meet some of these far right people, where you can start to get them out and into that pipeline. Because the one thing that we can all agree on is that our systems are deeply fucking broken. And the more that we create spaces for people leaving red to just interact with us in a less aggressive way, where we can find those commonalities, the more that we can educate them on other issues. We're deprogramming cult members. That's the fucking point.
Family, do you see what happens when we leave these people to their own devices? Do you see what happens when we decide to sit it out and not give them any of our energy, no matter what they're doing? These people are breaking down. They need each other because they need us. And because we're not standing for either side, they're like, well, hell, let's bring these sides together. Strengthen numbers. Let's go here.
I don't think we've reckoned with just how bad the political media propaganda bubble has been. I've been paying attention to all this Purple Revolution stuff, and I've noticed some subtleties in the way people are talking about it that leads me to believe there's a bigger problem than any one of us have realized. We have people from the right saying, I can't believe the media and the politicians lied to us this bad to divide us. And this underlying assumption that must be happening to everybody. Coupled with, this is not at all what I voted for. And I don't want to apologize because I honestly didn't want to vote for this. And I've started to wonder, what if some of them aren't lying about that? What if, even if they were to stay informed, watch the news, or look stuff up, they were being shown a certain vision of reality, and the closed loops of church communities or rural towns would just reinforce those walls. And there might be a very...
So now you have the left Nabisco over here making excuses for the nonsense of the right Nabisco. What if they wasn't lying? What if they were just shown a different perception of the world? And they only watch racist media, but in the very same way we only watch racist media. So maybe their racist media has caused them to do what they do and think the way that they think. That's what's happening right here, family. They're trying to find a little happy medium, ain't they? Good luck with that.
Deep miscommunication here that we can work on. On the left, we would call them all racists and bigots and stuff because that's what it appeared to us to be. These people irrationally out of nowhere, hating groups of people, even attacking them sometimes. And even something like January 6th seemed like butthurt, out of nowhere, irrational rage at being sore losers and knowing that. But I think we've underestimated the degree to which people on the right have honestly been shown a worldview where they think they are desperately getting justice against absolute criminals and people who are coddling criminals. The stakes were so high and they were just trying to fight for justice in some grand civil war, just conditioning in and out every day. The more they try to look up any answers, the more they get into it. I think the left has a lot of problems in its media too, but they're not necessarily the same problems because the right has a lot more money and funding and investment into their media spaces. That's pretty indisputable because the super rich, selfish people are voting for the party that gives them zero taxes. We have not reckoned with how effective that machine they've built has been. The left media sphere has failed, but has done something different because no one likes left media spheres. The only mainstream popular news channel left with like a center-left media lean would be, NBC? But it doesn't have this.
She said the only mainstream media left that is left-leaning is NBC. What about ABC? What about all their subsidiaries? What about CNN? Don't get it confused. Politico, Washington Post. I mean, yeah, I don't know about that. What is the one that Jeff Bezos owned? Is it the New York Post? But she said the only left-leaning media, mainstream media, NBC. Shout out to Still Kevin Trees. Thank you for being here, family. He said, who put lipstick on Bonnie James? I am so amused. It's the Washington Post. Okay, there we go. I thought it was, I knew it was one of those posts. Exactly, my sisters. They still want to address the 800-pound gorilla in the living room. Is that a they still? That's a whole group of motherfuckers. All right. Let's get back to it.
Same commitment as something like Fox News. And they're not pushing a message nearly as strong or as focused or motivated as Fox News. The problem of why everyone hates left-leaning news, especially people on the left, is because it's fussy, it's dragging its feet, it doesn't stand for anything, it's ineffective, it's whiny, it's self-destructive. We don't win, we don't get anything done. There's a misery to it. There really isn't a vision of a country to be a part of and to be proud of. There isn't a movement there. For a decade, it's been more or less just fussing about the new ways Trump broke the rules, which gets using clicks. People are upset and scared and worried. Even when there's a Democrat in office, the left-wing media will undermine them too. The widespread belief is that the people in charge of those media companies have more to gain from Trump winning and being in office because then there's more to write and fuss about. And we're not friends or allies of the Biden administration, at least. The establishment left has not had any passion or vision for America in a very, very long time. The more culturally popular ways to get news on the left are through like comedy talk show hosts who can at least have fun about it. So like Colbert or John Oliver. That's not really establishment, right? Not in the same way as like a news channel. It's weak. There's nothing there. And this is reflected in left voters who struggle with a lot of apathy. And the far left actually spends most of its time hating on Democrats, even more than conservatives or Republicans. And the far left specifically doesn't vote at all. They shame people away from voting or doing anything. It's a lot of young people making excuses for not doing anything new and scary. But the left's full of exhausting nitpicking on everything all of the time. It's defeatism, and it's shown in the latest election. There's problems in media spaces all.
Salute my sister. She sounds like she's describing the Dems. She is. And this is my point. She's breaking down the Dems in order to take up for these Magites who are now having buyer's remorse. That's exactly what she's doing. Give me 1 second, family. This thing is jumping here. That's exactly what she's doing. And that's why I'm saying they're not talking about us. They're having conversations with each other.
Around, but I don't think it's that everyone was sold a story in the same way. Left hasn't really been sold any story. We know our establishment is old and out of touch and refusing to hand over the reins of power to the next generation. And I think a lot of us on the left are excited to work with a new batch of people who are willing to be goal-oriented and look to something greater and something that brings us all together and something to be passionate about, something to build, a vision. There is a lot we could learn from the right. We haven't had the creativity or the mental, emotional bandwidth to be or do or stand for anything beyond preventing abuses from Trump, from just being anti. And it's exhausting. It's tiring. I'm excited to start working with some other people and build a bigger tent, one that's effective, true, honest, earnest, and does something for the average American. We can build a clear future together. I feel like the right was peddled a bad one, a lie, and the left just hasn't had one at all in ages. It's like Obama in 2008. We've kind of been culturally coasting ever since. I'll start talking more about what I think that vision should be soon. Those are my thoughts on this bizarre, asymmetrical, but always insufficient media background that everyone's coming from here. It all sucks. I think for different reasons, but it all sucks. I think we all want a country we can believe in and a country we should believe in.
So, family, that's that. Now, no. I was thinking it looked like Shia LaBeouf. Oh, wow. I will never be able to unsee that. Oh, you ain't right for that. You are not right for that. Salute to me and Kim for that right there. Shout out to Sybil. Thank you for being here, family. Now, family, are you ready? Because now we're going to get to the reason why I threw Prince on the thumbnail. So I want you to sit back and enjoy this. Because this purple party, this purple revolution, it was prophesied by the prophecy of the Lord himself. Oh, yeah, you got it, family. You got it. Let's go here.
So I want to explain Purple Revolution for a lot of people, okay? At least my view of the Purple Revolution. Purple Revolution is prophecy, okay? It is, Prince spoke of this prophecy in his song 7, okay? 7 is the 7 aspects of our culture that Satan needs to occupy in order to control us. And it starts with money and power. So it's the 1%, it's Israel, okay? And Israel's found a way to infiltrate us with the 7 Mountain Mandate and Christian nationalism in general, okay? They have convinced Christian nationalists money and power and fear is how to rule, is how to, and that's Satan, that's evil, okay? That's the devil in the world. So Purple Revolution is the prophecy of Prince. Like, this is us, the 144,000. We are awake. We are singing the song. We're singing.
This is the prophecy of Prince. The 144,000, ladies and gentlemen. Prince got out here and said, the left wing will get together with the right wing. Purple Revolution. Oh, I cannot with these people.
Singing the song of Revelation. Okay, that is our love. The energy we're putting into the world, all this love and just all that, you see a bunch of people just loving and loving and loving and loving. And for what reason? You know, it's the energy. It's the 144,000 singing into the world. We know what's coming. All that is going to fall. Government, education, everything they have control over, all 7 aspects of culture, the media, art and entertainment, everything, religion. Okay, it's all falling. It's all the evil in it is going to be revealed. Okay, that is the 7 aspects of culture. That is what Prince sang about, and that is what is falling right now. You see the world standing up towards the evil. That is the Purple Revolution. Okay, this is Prince's prophecy, and I don't mean to deter anyone or make it seem weird with that, but that's what it is. Like, Prince was a prophet of God. A lot of us are. There's a lot of us awake now. We are prophets, so we know what's coming. Like, we see the community being rebuilt. We see the new earth that's been promised in Revelation. There's no heaven up above. It's here. It's us creating love and harmony, and that 144,000 vibration flow of love throughout the whole world. So yes, that is the Purple Revolution. So the 7 will fall. So, in government, our government is one of the 7. When that falls, we win. I love y'all. Have a good day.
Family. When I saw that video, I started laughing so hard I went into tears. I was hysterical in my laughter. And not just because he said Prince was a prophet of the Lord. He said, this is what Prince sang about. You gotta really give me those songs so I can listen to that album where Prince sang about. Oh, no. Salute to Snatch Adams, and thank you for your super chat, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold. I appreciate your contribution. He says, Little Purple Corvette. Yeah, I need to hear these songs. I need to hear these songs. I could have sworn, all of his music was geared towards us in some way, but the the Purple Revolution, they took Prince's name when he was Prince in the Revolution and threw it together with Purple Rain, the album, and say, you know what, we're just going to do the Purple Revolution. This is hilarious, man. But funny enough, they stole that from somewhere politically too, but we'll get to that in a hot second. Now, family, I want to show you why we need to keep ourselves out of their mess. Because when you think that they're talking to you, you make a fool of yourself for either one side or the other, or just in general, because they're not talking about the same issues that you may be talking about. They're not standing on the same business that you may be standing on. So let's go here, family. Let's go here. This woman here irked my soul a little bit, so I got to play her.
I think the most beautiful thing that I am starting to see right now is what everybody is calling the Purple Revolution. Y'all be PG. So what the Purple Revolution is that evidently everybody is waking up. The Democrats are waking up to the Democratic bullshit. The Republicans are waking up to the Republican bullshit. And then there has been people coming online and even going above and beyond, and they are taking accountability. They are blaming themselves, and they are waking up. And they are saying that they regret their vote and that they are no longer part of MAGA and everything like that. This is like my, fifth or fourth video I've seen today. Now, y'all please excuse my appearance. I kind of look a little crazy. This nice shit is still in my ass right now. But I will say this to all the people who are saying, oh, man, fuck y'all. Y'all don't belong over here and everything like that. Little did y'all know, this is the start of the Purple Revolution, honey. They are starting to wake up. Like I told y'all once before, it is not the black people or the Hispanic people or the Asian people that's about to be a problem here. It's going to be the white people. It's the white people. It's y'all that's waking the fuck up. And that right there, honestly, that's the group of people they don't want y'all to wake up. Y'all the main group of people.
Family, is she bucking or not? Are those eyes bucking or not? She's just so excited to bring together the left and the right. The Nabiscos. It's going to be the Nabiscos waking up y'all got to worry about.
I want y'all to wake up. Us black folk, Hispanic, Native Americans, Asian, the shit that y'all seeing right now is what we've been trying to tell y'all. But y'all ain't.
Notice how she just threw everybody into the I told you so game right there. The black folk, Spanish, Native Americans, the Asians, this is what we've been telling y'all. No, the only people that's been loud about what is going on in this country and the truth about it has been foundational Black Americans. Not the Asian who was used to dismantle affirmative action, even though it benefited them more than us. Not the Latino that's been getting all kind of government subsidies behind our backs for decades that we did not even know about. From the same Nabiscos. Not the Native American who stole our identity and also is getting the government subsidies that belongs to us. They've been quiet until something happens to them. And you can't name any other group in this goddamn country who's been standing up about the real grievances that we have. The only people in this country that has any real grievances that's worth anything, because we built this country and everybody else fled to the country that we built. And then they're used as buffer class and all this other stuff when it comes to us. So yeah, it ain't going to be none of that. Oh yeah, we've been telling you. It's no weave. It's been Black Americans and Black Americans only. Shout out to our sister Stolen. She says, I smell a yeah, I smell one too. You're not too off on that. That's our twin, Leslie Jones. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Let's let it continue.
Want to listen to us because of the color of our damn skin. But now that y'all see it firsthand for yourselves, now who you see who the problem is. So as far as I'm concerned, baby boy, baby girl, if you was once part of MAGA, guess what? I motherfucking forgive your ass, all right? Because guess what? You wasn't the fucking only one that was manipulated. And then if you really want to keep it a buck, a lot of these fucking Democrats voted for his ass too, and they even starting to wake up. But like I said, now this is why I voted independent. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought both parties is bullshit. Now that y'all are waking up, that's what I'm talking about. So to all of the, I'm gonna call y'all fugitive MAGAs. To all you fugitive MAGAs, come on over here, baby. Welcome to the dark side. Where's the bad side? It ain't nothing left for you over there. It ain't.
Do you see how excited this woman is getting because she feels like Nabiscos and the Black community and Asians and Native Americans and Latinos are all coming together? Do you see how excited she's getting? Never mind the fact that the people are talking about putting issues to the side. That means you have to put everything that you're supposed to be standing on to the side. And when things like that happen, once it's all over and they get their comfortable place back in white supremacy, it'll be you left sitting there holding on to your shattered dreams. Once they're done finding their comfortable place back in white supremacy, or gaining their comfortable place back in white supremacy, oh, they're going to turn all their attention on you. This is what I'm saying. They're not talking to us. And if you don't understand that, you're going to be out here trying to cape for a side that don't give a damn about you. Whether it's the left side, whether it's the right side, or whether it's this purple revolution nonsense.
Nothing left for you over there. Just come on over here with us. We've been trying to tell y'all. We've been trying to tell y'all. Y'all just didn't want to listen to us because of what y'all were clouded by. Now y'all starting to wake the fuck up. Like I said, us waking up, the Hispanic people waking up, that does not bother them because they been knew that shit was gonna happen first. Once y'all white people start waking the fuck up, ooh, we especially y'all southern racist folk, once y'all start turning against y'all racism, what?
Family. I don't even have anything to say here. I just wanted to pause it on this facial expression. She is highly excited. She's ready to go. She's straggling the horses. Shalom, Jesse Paris. Thank you for being here, family. Much love to you. I don't know. This face right here. Yeah. I can't be a buck dancer. I can't do it. Like, this is embarrassing to me. This is completely embarrassing.
That's when they gonna start getting terrified. Like, that's when they gonna start being like, oh shit. Now our own people is turning against us. Oh shit. That's the purple revolution, baby. That's what that is. So with that being said, don't blame them. Don't blame them. Welcome them over here. Welcome them over here. Because guess what? The bigger the army, the bigger the cake now. Period. So to all the fugitive magners, welcome to the dark side. Where's the best side?
Family. As you can see here, that is her look. Anyway, that's not all, family. Paid up. I can see that. I can see that. That's not all, though. This is what you look like whenever you're out here caping for the Nabiscos and talking about. She said, "Let them on over here. Don't push them away. Let them on over here." Where's the here? Because clearly isn't the black community. We're not letting anybody over here. As you said, you voted independent. So this is more of an independent situation, you're saying, right? That's why you're excited? I'm just questioning. I'm just questioning. However, family, I want to go here too to another suspected tether who don't even know what the hell is going on. But if it's all about unity with the Nabisco, he's all for it. Let's go here.
Is this purple revolution? I need the clip notes. I don't know what's going on. I see people are very passionate about it. It sounds interesting, but I need somebody to break it down to me. What is it? What does it stand for? If it's coming together in unity, I'm all for it. I'm all for coming together. I'm all for unity, but I have no idea what the movement is. I'm only seeing bits and pieces of it. I'm seeing it pick up. What is it? Somebody tell me. I want to know. I want to know. Neither here nor there. I just want to know. I'm just curious about it. It's something that I haven't seen before, heard before, but I see people talking about it. I see people mentioning it in my comments, and I'm not that well versed in it. So I'm curious, and I just want to know, what is it? What's going on? Is it something new? Is it something exciting? Is it something, let's just say common sense? I hope it's got a bunch of common sense in it, but please, if you know, let me know. What is this purple revolution? What's going on? Let me know.
That man has smoked one too many doobies today. He don't even know what the hell is going on, but as long as it's exciting, as long as it's something new, please tell me it has common sense in it when common sense ain't too common to everybody.
I need somebody to.
He said, Steve Harvey mustache. I am so. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. See, family, this is what you look like when you don't know they're not talking about you and you throw your hat into the bunch. You look foolish. You look foolish. Because if you listen to what they're saying, they're letting you know that they're setting the rules of engagement. Let's go here, family.
Purple Revolution. I'm all for it. Go ahead. Absolutely. I've talked about it for 2 days now. I love it. I think it's a great idea. And I love that people are coming at it and seeing the administration is absolutely fucking us over. I think it's fantastic that people are finally waking up to this. But some of us have been in this. Some of us have been talking about this. Some of us have been studying this for a very, very long time and trying to scream stuff at the top of our lungs. And everyone just turns around and calls us idiots or woke. And my last 2 videos that I posted about it, there's a lot of people in the comment sections that are very suspicious, very weary, and extremely hurt by the things that have happened. And they're allowed to have that emotion. They're allowed to feel that way. With all that being said, people are absolutely exhausted, and rightfully so. And I think before we pick up purple flags and start waving them and running them down the street, we need to talk about what that actually means. First thing, unity without accountability is not unity. That's silent compliance. You know the saying, when you see something, say something, and that should go for both sides. If you see stuff that's being said that is not true, call it out. Because if it's not being called out, it's only going to cause even more division. Number 2, standing against authoritarianism, no matter who it comes from. And we need to start verbally speaking what this is. Number 3, you have to refuse to trade freedom for false unity. Number 4, protecting the most vulnerable people in our society first. The society is judged by how they treat their most vulnerable. The queer community, women, people of color, and immigrants.
Notice what she just named up. Like I said, these are the rules of the engagement she's giving. You have to understand what these people are doing. They're, like I said, the conversation is about more than just coming together as a whole. And what did she list off when she said protecting the most vulnerable? She went down the list, and black people aren't there. You would think that POC meant black people, but then I believe she mentioned immigrants. Let's run that back.
The purple has to prioritize justice over our own comfort. Number 5, refuse to trade freedom for false unity. Number 4, protecting the most vulnerable people in our society first. A society is judged by how they treat their most vulnerable. The queer community, women, people of color, and immigrants.
Now understand, she said the queer community, right? Before everything. Everybody before she said anybody, she said the queer community.
What this is. Number 3, you have to refuse to trade freedom for false unity. Our society first. A society is judged by how they treat their most vulnerable. The queer community, women, people of color.
Now notice, queer community, women, people of color, immigrants. Nothing, it's not about us. Don't let the people of color fool you. Because they know that foundational Black Americans are not immigrants. So when she's talking about immigrants, she's not talking about us. But people of color are what? They're immigrants. The only non-immigrant group in America is foundational Black Americans. So when she listed off all those things, if you wasn't paying attention, you would think that she's talking about us. But no, she said queer people, and this is her exact order: women, people of color, which are already immigrants. Then she said immigrants, which means that she's talking about illegal immigrants. She's not talking about the actual people of color who are immigrants, because you can put people of color and immigrants in the same damn boat. The people you can't put in that boat is foundational Black Americans. So anybody who heard that allowed that to slip right on by, like this little buck dancer here, they will never understand that they're not talking about you. Let's let her finish.
And immigrants. The purple has to prioritize justice over our own comfort. Number 5, the purple revolution means that we build something that belongs to all of us, not just one religion and not just one political group. Democracy and spiritual freedom are not partisan. They're human. That's the revolution that I'm here for. The people that will not bow to the control. And if that's what you mean by purple, then hell yeah, I'm here for it.
All right, family. So shout out to the Big Black God. Thank you for your Cash App, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always, my brother. Now, family, I'm going to tell you something. You know what? Let me play these clips first, and then I'm going to break down why it's a no for us regardless. Even if they were talking to us, it's a no. And I'm going to do it in a way where other people is going to break down why it's a no. And we're not going to be speaking the same language. But let's first go here, because when I first heard about this situation, I was thinking to myself, like, this does sound it sounds familiar. And then I realized, the Prince and the Revolution situation, and how, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, they just took Purple Rain and Prince and the Revolution, blended together, and then you have the Purple Revolution. But then this sister reminded me that politically this has already been done. So nothing that the Nabisco do is original whatsoever. Let's go here.
It's funny you should mention that because, you know, Prince, Purple Revolution. But what's really interesting, this phrase has already been used before politically about a revolution in 2005 in Iraq. So when the regime change happened after Saddam Hussein, they referred to it as the Purple Revolution based on the ink on the fingertips of the people who voted. So I guess you could call this like international political gentrification. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, someone told me about this, so I didn't really research it on the internet. I looked it up on TikTok. But something today told me, let me look into this. Let's see how far this is moving. I saw a couple of Reddit posts, but the very first thing that popped up was reference to the Purple Revolution that happened in Iraq. So yeah, like international political gentrification. Is that
Like I said, nothing is original with these people. No originality. Let's go here because this woman is going to allude to why it's not going to work. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted there. Was looking at something else. This woman here that I'm about to play, she's going to allude to why it isn't going to work. And then I'm going to go into my spiel about why it would never work for us. So let's go here.
There is not going to be a purple revolution. Because in order to have a revolution in America, you need Black people. In order to have a revolution in America, you need Black people. In order to have a revolution in America, you need Black people. In order to have a revolution in America, you need Black people. And they don't have that. What they have is a certain demographic that wants other people in that demographic to have a soft place to land and be coddled when they realize that MAGA does not care about them. And that's fine. They can do that. But that's not revolutionary. Back in 2016, a bunch of Republicans left the MAGA party, and then they got cushy jobs on MSNBC telling liberals all kinds of things they want to hear as analysts on that channel. In 2024, Kamala Harris did really try to get a certain group of people who may agree with things like women's rights and the women's right to choose to leave that party and vote with her. And you know what they did? Yeah, they did not vote for her. They voted for the patriarchy. We are constantly in this tug of war with Republicans and MAGA who are trying to pull the rope backward. How far back depends on who you ask. 1950s, 1990s, 1776, whatever it is, it's regressive.
Now, family, I want you to pay attention. Now, I played this first for a reason because this is going to be the ongoing thing. You start off talking about Black Americans, and then it's because of Kamala that you won't get our support. This woman isn't even a Black American, but she started her video off in the very same manner. And I'm going to show you that it is the theme. Let's go back.
To have a revolution in America, you need Black people. And they don't have that. What they have is a certain demographic that wants other people in that demographic to have a soft place to land and be coddled when they realize that MAGA does not care about them. And that's fine. They can do that. But that's not revolutionary. Back in 2016, a bunch of Republicans left the MAGA party, and then they got cushy jobs on MSNBC telling liberals all kinds of things they want to hear as analysts on that channel. In 2024, Kamala Harris did really try to get a certain group of people who may agree with things like women's rights and the women's right to choose to leave that party and vote with her. And you know what they did? Yeah, they did not vote for her. They voted.
You see what I'm saying, family? She made it. She started out talking about foundational Black Americans. Then she went right into the spiel. Kamala Harris tried to put together one of those type of parties, a purple revolution, and y'all gave her the middle finger. Salute to our sister Hurricane Nisi Church. You know Torian's mantra, about the grift. Yeah, every grift is based on the degradation of Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, to be more specific. And this is what we're seeing here. A lot of grifting.
For the patriarchy. We are constantly in this tug of war with Republicans and MAGA who are trying to pull the rope backward. How far back depends on who you ask. 1950s, 1990s, 1776, whatever it is, it's regressive. And then you have liberals and Democrats always trying to pull them forward against their will, mind you, pull them into the future. And I have said for a long time, drop the rope. Democrats and liberals who are candidates running for office need to drop the rope and just walk to the left. If you want this purple contingency to be our new right wing and conservative party, then that's great, because at least we have a starting point, right? And then MAGA can become the extremists on the right. I am more interested in becoming a deeper blue. There's a whole group of voters that Democrats have abandoned who want
family. Notice what she said. She is more interested in becoming a deeper blue, which means she wants to become a more of a Democrat. She wants to push more liberal talking points. But you're not going to be able to do anything without black folk. Understand what she's saying. She's acting as if the Democratic Party still have a hold on us. When that in reality, both parties are doing horrible right now. But the Democratic Party, their polling numbers are tragic. So what this woman is talking about, she's acting as if they got a leg up. She's acting as if they have the foundational Black American community. And she wants to double down on her far leftism.
to vote Democratic, who believe in a lot of the ideals and values of Democrats, who just need a few shifts in policy, who will vote for the Democratic candidate. Chasing after these MAGA voters is not the way to go. We tried it and we failed it. I want to be a deeper, deeper blue. I don't want red in my blue. Y'all.
She said it again, family. She wants to be a deeper, this time she said it twice. She wants to be a deeper, deeper blue. She wants to be a deeper, deeper blue.
Y'all can miss me with that one.
Okay, family. So let me say this real quick. This is why it isn't going to work. She was right about one thing. In order to have a revolution, you're going to need foundational Black Americans. But here's where she's wrong at. This has nothing to do with the Democratic Party. This has nothing to do with the Republican Party. This has nothing to do with the Green Party. This has everything to do with what the hell foundational Black Americans is owed in this country. Ain't no coming together unless you pay what you owe. That's what it is. That's how it's going to be. Get used to it. Salute to our sister Makiba Anderson in the building. Much love to you. That's what this is. Until y'all come to us with a reparations package, well, really, you don't even have to do that. I got a reparations bill. If y'all really want to get together and have a purple party, the first agenda on the docket must be reparations for foundational Black Americans. The second thing on the docket must be an anti-Black hate crime bill. And the third thing on the docket must be an overturn of any legal policy that has targeted foundational Black Americans in this country. That's it. In order to get us on the same team. And in order to do so, y'all got to be calling for that before we even get involved. Y'all got to be out there pushing this to your brothers, pushing this to your sisters, pushing this to your fathers, your mothers, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your nieces, your nephews, your play cousins. Well, Nabiscos don't have play cousins. That's a concept that we have. But you get what I'm saying. Your neighbors, your dog, your parrot, your cats, your snakes. You got to be talking to all of them about why foundational Black Americans need reparations, and they are owed reparations. That's how you do that. You want to get our attention? You need to be the loudest person in the room screaming, why aren't foundational Black Americans getting reparations and this owed to them? We owe foundational Black Americans trillions. You got to be the loudest person in the room talking about, it's been a month and we didn't had over 6 people hanging in trees. We need an anti-Black hate crime bill. You got to be the loudest person in the room talking about these things. Because you can bet your bottom dollar we're not putting any of our issues to the side for you. If we can't live equally comfortable, we will live equally, we'll all live equally uncomfortable. So now that you're uncomfortable, you're making a call to your fellow Nabiscos on the other side of the goddamn aisle and saying, hey, we gotta come together. But no matter how much you come together, it won't change a damn thing. You need the muscle power of foundational Black Americans. And you ain't got it. Salute and shalom to cut the check. Thank you for being here, family. In the name of your name, that's what they're going to need to do. Cut the damn check. Because after it's over, after you get your comfortable place back in white supremacist culture like you want, y'all gonna leave us holding an empty bag. No. So that's why we will not unite with you guys. And that's just one of the reasons why. I'm not going to unite with a bunch of people that will celebrate my death the very next day. I'm not. I'm not going to unite with a bunch of people that think that systemic oppression in this godforsaken country is debatable. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not putting anything to the side for no person like that. Now, family, you've heard my spiel on this. I'm going to let you hear the Black Shield conversation on this. And you let me know, are any of these people talking like foundational Black Americans? Like how I was just speaking? Or are they talking like a bunch of people that think that it includes them? Regardless, this is just the blue side of things. Let's go here, family.
Y'all are now calling for a purple revolution, in saying that it's not left versus right, it's up versus down. We need to overthrow our capitalist overlords, right? But you guys are saying we can get back to our petty differences after we take over our capitalist overlords. The petty differences that you're talking about is whether I deserve the right to live, and that the woman that I care about deserves to have the rights to her body, and that my Mexican friends don't deserve to be, attacked for being fucking Mexican, and that my gay friends don't deserve to live their life and, fucking love who they love. There's certain things that we cannot disagree on, and I cannot work with you until you recognize.
Family, shout out to Miss Nisi, dude in bed recording a video, very rainbow. Yes, yes, yes. Shout out to Alicia. Got my popcorn. I'm enjoying the show. As the system goes up in flames. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you enjoying the broadcast. Also, B1 salute to Yagua. If I got your name wrong, hold it to my head, not my heart. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, as well as our sister, I am Kiera in the building. Much love to you, my sister. Thank you for being here. And like Miss Nisi said, without FBAs, everything is going to shit. And you can best believe that. But I want you to notice what this dude did.
Differences.
Like the other woman, this man names off not just our situation, but he includes abortion, gay rights, everything, illegals. He don't sound like how I just said it, but let's let him.
After we take over our capitalist overlords, the petty differences that you're talking about is whether I deserve the right to live, and that the woman that I care about deserves to have the rights to her body, and that my Mexican friends don't deserve to be, attacked for being fucking Mexican.
Family, these people ain't being attacked for being Mexican. They're being deported because they're not citizens. They are illegals. Just wanted to make sure I corrected him there. Oh, it's pronounced Yagua. Okay, well, shout out to you, Yagua, and I appreciate you for being here. Now, you might have to remind me of that pronunciation once again later on. I'm not going to lie. I'm getting up there. But shout out to you. Thank you for being here, family. Exactly, Miss Nisi. Intersectionality. That's exactly what basically this man is talking about right here. Me and Kim, who's laying behind him? Probably a big buff dude named Bill. I don't know. Let's go here, family.
Y'all heard about the Purple Revolution? I've been on a tirade all day today, and I heard there was a Purple Revolution, a group of MAGA people who have begun to see the light and see that MAGA way is not the way. They begin to burn their red hats, and they have some grand idea that they would just come back over here and join forces with us and declare and form a peaceful revolution. Get how racist and hateful you were? Do you forget that you voted against your own self-interest in order to harm Black and brown people? Purple.
Notice how it's going to keep going back to that. You voted for this. You voted for Trump. It's not about the fact that these people are staunch anti-Black racists. It's not about the fact that they're telling us to put our agenda to the side for their agenda. It's because you voted for Donald Trump. Now you want Democrats. Let's let it continue.
Revolution, because we don't trust you. We understand as soon as things cool down for you and you don't feel as threatened, you feel safe and secure, you'll go back to your nasty, ugly, racist ways. And there will be no revolution, because there cannot be a revolution without Black people. And we are not getting out there with you all to protest anything. We've made it very clear. We have no desire to join forces with you. We don't trust you. Any heavy lifting that needs to be done, you better do it on your own. We'll sit over here and watch you. Out of your mind, talking about a purple revolution.
Family, she said, we don't trust you. But yet, they trust the Democrats. See, this is my thing here, family. This is a conversation that we shouldn't even be in. Because we shouldn't even be having conversations with these folks. We should just be sitting it out like we said we were doing. But when you're a Democrat, you have to come in. You just It just pulls you every time you try to get out. You got to put your 2 cents into something that really has nothing to do with you because they're not talking to you. They're talking to the Nabisco in your party, and you don't understand that. Exactly, Miss Nisa. Miss Nisi, FBA agenda only, ain't laying shit down. That's it. That's it. Feet kicked up on the ottoman. Exactly. She got the no more drama Bacarian cut. I am so amused. Broken heart again. Another lesson learned. Don't play though. Don't be playing. Not with Mary J though. Let's go here, family, because I want you to hear the mindset of these people. And I'm going to show you that they're having a totally different conversation than the Nabiscos.
Revolution. That's some dumbass shit. You Confederate apologists always show y'all motherfucking ass. We're back. Let's break it down. Talk is cheap. We need action, not words. Y'all continue to push this class consciousness bullshit without addressing the core issues at hand. We see what the tariffs have done to the farmers. They're out here crying about their soybeans. They voted Republican. They voted for this, yet they want a welfare handout from the government and from our tax dollars. But I guarantee the next election, they will vote Republican. They have not learned their lesson. I didn't vote for this. I didn't know that he was going to do this. No. We told you motherfuckers what it was. Fuck y'all. We told y'all before the election, y'all didn't want to listen. We told y'all about Project 2025, y'all didn't want to listen. I'm sure many of y'all saw what happened in Chicago. I had started making a video about it. I didn't finish it. It's still in my drafts, but let's talk about it right now. I saw the videos that came out with people talking about the Gestapo harassing Black Americans, saying that, see, we told you guys that y'all were next. We were never next. We've always been first. The U.S. government.
Now, notice once again, he pulled us into this in order to cuss out the conservatives. But yet it isn't about just Black people. He tried to make it seem like we told you about the Gestapo with them harassing Black people when we know that, okay, we're being harassed. Okay, fine. That's not something that we're cool with, but they're being deported. So y'all try to make it about us being harassed versus them being deported. And you think that people just sitting back like, yeah, you know, we got to do something about this. But this is your talking point to combat the conservative who want to come together with the Nabisco Democrat, which they've done so many times over. See, what these people don't understand is whether you like it or not, if the Nabisco conservative and the Nabisco liberal says, hey, we're getting together, you don't have any power in that. You're just going to be feeling like a dog without a home. You're going to feel like you were, how do you say, betrayed. You're going to feel so betrayed if they get together. Because they've done it several times before. And you think that you have a say in this now because you're a part of the party. And that's the dangers. You're putting the party before your interest. But go off.
Not acknowledging our constitutional rights. This is nothing new. Inequality and the Constitution not applying equally to Black Americans is the root of racism. Y'all come over here trying to shame Black people, trying to guilt Black people into feeling some type of way, into supporting y'all bullshit. It's time for Black people to get involved. We need to have this class consciousness. And mind you, the Black people that typically do push that rhetoric are first or second gen Black people. They're not African Americans descended from slavery. They don't understand the Black experience in this country, so why would we listen to you? I made a video talking about checks and balances, literally how it works in this country. The rich people have dominated this country since the beginning. And yet we've been telling you guys over and over and over again, but because there was a hierarchy of Black people being at the very bottom of it, and you guys were not impacted, you didn't care. But now that crumbs of oppression have trickled down to you, you think that you're entitled to tell Black people how to feel, how to actually get involved in shit. Black people are angry, rightfully so, because we told you motherfuckers what was going to happen when this bitch ass motherfucker came back into the White House, and you didn't want to listen.
Notice how he just used all that blackity black. That's why I let it play through all uninterrupted, all the blackity black you can be. Just to get back, we told you what was going to happen. Project 2025. You should have voted for Kamala. This is what you're hearing, family.
O'Donnell, fuck you, bitch. You fucking gaslit Kamala Harris when she was talking about Project 25. But this motherfucker came in here and admitted it last week. Fuck you, bitches. But when it comes to racism, when it comes to all of the core issues in this country, y'all don't want to address them. It's only now that shit starts to impact you that y'all want to talk about them. The purple wristband is just some bracelet bullshit that is only symbolic and doesn't actually mean anything. It won't do anything. I'm not going to coalition with no fucking racists. I'm talking about you, punk-ass Jack Matt. $5,000 doesn't bring back a son. It doesn't bring back a brother. It doesn't bring back a grandson. No amount of money will ever satisfy his family, rightfully so. You are a dog shit human being that convicted a black man in the court of public opinion. And the Louisiana police, they are so fucking corrupt. That's atrocious. Being a pale-skinned person in this country is truly a cheat code for life. You can be the most racist, homophobic, hateful, dog shit human being in this country. And not only can you be handed the keys to the White House, but you can also be forgiven of all of the sins that you have committed. And why do I believe that it's so symbolic? Because it is. See, these movements such as this purple revolution are typically centered or created by people that come from a place of privilege. These same people are the people that are typically insulated the most from harm. The people that decided not to vote last election or that voted third party because of the one issue in the country that shall not be named, those people had the privilege of believing that they weren't going to be impacted. They attacked the black community for supporting Kamala Harris because we look at harm reduction.
The black community did not support Kamala Harris. I just had to make sure that's known. Because, you know, for some reason, it seems like these people are in the back of the classroom every time they bring up Kamala. We've already told these people we don't support Kamala Harris. We don't support Trump. We support policy. We support what you're going to give us for our vote, and even exchange, no robbery. That's what we support. So everything that's happened, every time they come out and try to do this I told you so stuff, when it got something to do with us, whether it doesn't, you got somebody coming out who's clearly, this dude, he looks like a tether if I ain't never seen a tether. That faux head right there, that hairline, that man's hairline looked like an arching moon, a waxing moon, a waning moon. How you out here with your hairline looking like the horizon? I'm just saying. But this is their tactics. Oh, we're not going to work with you because we told you to vote for Kamala. Huh.
Recognize that there is no perfect candidate. There will never be a perfect candidate. There will never be somebody that I agree with 100% except for myself. So get that shit out of your fucking mind. If you truly want to show that you're serious, that you want a coalition with black people, you guys need to vote every fucking election. You need to be serious every fucking election. And if you truly want to do this purple revolution, if you want to progress this country forward, see, I will take an inch if that means that I don't lose my rights. We have to fight back for our civil rights. And we told you stupid ass motherfuckers this before the election. And we've been telling you stupid ass motherfuckers this for decades.
All right, family, I wanted to make sure to play that in its entirety. Because like I said, we're not having the same conversations. And neither are the Nabiscos. You got the black folk within these parties thinking that, you know, they have a say. And they don't even understand that the Nabiscos in their own parties are talking over their heads. Shut up. Take an inch. Shout out to you, family. He probably shouldn't have said that with the damn sassiness that he had going off there. Kamala Stain. That bitch wasn't qualified, period. You know, I feel you 100-fold. And either way, at this point in time, he's mad that Kamala isn't in office. They're mad because of the fact that Trump's policy are affecting them as well. They're mad because we're all equally uncomfortable And he's saying, we're not going to get with you, or we're not going to unite with you because you didn't vote for Kamala. And if you want to unite, then you need to vote blue from now on in every election. That's basically what he's saying. Voting blue does not help the black community. That's just what it is. Voting for policy that will. So I wouldn't give a damn if they voted in every single election. If we still continue to sit this out, when we continue to sit this out, they'll still lose. That's how stupid this person is. But let's move forward, family, because I got a little bit more to show you. I got to show you Carl Winslow over here has something to say. Let's hear what old Carl Winslow, the good cop, has to say on this situation, shall we?
You want a purple revolution? Very well. Let's start with an apology. Let's start with acknowledging the wrong decision that you made. Because in my opinion,
notice it's all about the fact that the people voted for Trump. That's the wrong decision. They should have voted for Kamala. Snapshot out with oh, Mr. Winslow. Reginald. Anyway, let's continue.
that is something that I'm not seeing. I am seeing a lot of people who are saying that, oh, they don't like what's going on. And, not left versus right. We shouldn't be so invested in politics. We should all come together because of, the powers that be are going to be coming after all of us soon. That's all well and good. I see the MAGA people and the conservatives who are concerned about what our future looks like, and they don't agree with the direction we're going in. And they are hoping that we can create some unity in order to stand up to what we're all experiencing. That's all well and good. But start with acknowledging that you made the wrong decision, because we do not heal. We do not heal from this unless people like you make that declaration, unless people like you make that admission. And it's not some sick game to be like, oh, we told you so, blah, blah, blah. No, your accountability is what needs to take place in order for all of us to move forward. You can't skip steps in the healing process. So you can't skip over the step where you acknowledge that your vote was wrong. You voted in hopes that all of the bad things that this man would do would not touch you in any way, shape, or form.
Mia, you already know Carl had a goddamn receding hairline. Look how far back Carl's hairline go. That's his hairline right there. He's the real life Carl Winslow. He's not from the mustache to the receding hairline. God, looky. I'm just saying, family. I'm just saying.
You voted knowing that it was going to harm a lot of people, people of color, people in the LGBTQ community, Hispanic, anybody. You voted knowing it was going to hurt a lot of these people. But now that it's hurting you, now that it's hurting people close to you, now that it's just not looking as glamorous as you thought it would look.
Oh, y'all ain't right. Moving on up ain't never looked so modern. I love that. Oh, God, Lee. Run away from his front of his head hairline. I see the orange star and green leopard. Oh my God, this is, man, I'm telling you, the people that they send out to speak. Oh geez. Oh geez.
This doesn't feel like that golden age that all of us told you would never come, that Kamala Harris told you would never come. You're trying to skip the step where you say you made the wrong decision. And I know a lot of people were going to try and get out of this. A lot of people were going to try and pretend like they were not pushing this train as fast as they could possibly push it because they thought it was going to serve them. Accountability is the first step. It's always the first step. These people need to acknowledge they were wrong. They need to admit that their vote was a vote for hatred. Because without that, I really don't see the purple revolution going very far.
Family, I'm sorry, I had to get some water for that. Jesus Christ, man. Y'all in here lighting this dude the hell up. Hanging on to hair. He's hanging on to whatever hair he got left. Absolutely, family. Whatever hair he got left. But family, You're hearing the talking points from the black liberals, right? They're making it about one person and one person only, Kamala Harris. That's the reason why they refuse to unite with the Purple Party, as they say. Not because of our grievance, not because of reparations, a transformative black agenda, an anti-black hate crime bill, not because of the fact that these people celebrate our deaths, not because of the fact that, these folks tend to sit in law enforcement, judges, and all this other stuff where they actually do things to us. No, none of that. None of that at all. It's because you guys make the wrong decision. You should have voted for Kamala. And then if you want to unite with us, the first step, as Carl Winslow, Reginald just said to us, you got to apologize first. Admit that you were wrong. You made the wrong decision. Like I said, this is why it's dangerous in order to have a straight out loyalty to either party. Because you're sitting here defending situations that really got nothing to do with you. The one dude, the other tether with the Horizon hairline, he was over here saying blackity black, 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 black. But at the end of the day, it was all about Kamala, who wasn't black, who isn't black, and who will never be black. And then you got Reginald over here saying you got to make the conscious decision to apologize for your wrong decision. It's all about them trying to own each other, one. And two, it's about them saying, hey, this is our nan boo boo moment because you're having buyer's remorse. And if you would have voted for Kamala, you wouldn't have had buyer's remorse. And all Kamala would have did is continue doing what Biden was doing, which was destroying the country either way, especially destroying the black community. Now I want to give you some of the convo that the Nabiscos are having. Let me pull this down for a hot second here, family. 1 second. There we go. Notice what this Nabisco says.
Why does the revolution have to be purple? If you're breaking free and you're waking up and you're recognizing that you've been fed lies over and over and over again, and it's been a coordinated attack on your psyche, it's been a weaponization of your empathy or a weaponization of your bigotry, both, to get you to vote for this man. Why does the revolution have to be purple? Aren't you done with the red? You just found out they've been lying to you this whole time. I thought you were waking up. Why can't the revolution be blue? Why can't you y'all just commit to trying to make it right by voting for Democrats consistently, or the most progressive option moving forward from here on out, listening to the people who have been most affected in the past by this administration that you're just finding out is harmful and has been lying this entire time. For the last decade, he's been lying.
Now notice what she's doing. She's asking the question, if you're tired of the red, why don't you just come over here to the blue? Why do you have to hold on to the red? Then she turns and says, we should be listening to the people most affected by this administration. And who's being most affected by the administration, family? She says the most vulnerable. But we're not being affected. So who is she saying we should be listening to? Who's really catching all the hell right now? Is she telling him you should be stopping hard for illegals? I'm just saying, she said you need to be voting Democrat more often. I'm just saying. Like I said, there's a different conversation being had than the ones that these black liberals was talking about.
To you. And so many people have gotten screwed is the thing, right? All the venues he never paid, the people he never paid, the people who used to work with him who are in jail. Everybody who hitches their wagon to him gets screwed. and y'all couldn't see it. But you want the revolution to be purple. Like, I get it, y'all. I have family in the cult too. I get that we want these people back. But I think that they're trying to
get it. I get it. I got family in the cult too. I get that we want these people back. Family, you got any family in the cult? I don't have any family in the cult. I don't really care what anybody represents, but you know, none of the people that I know that voted for the dude is in the cult. They did it for a strategic purpose, but you know, I'm just asking. So she's not talking to us.
skirt having to do any actual introspection. And you have to. If you're really waking up, if you're really breaking free, you got to do a little bit more than, okay, I'm ready to be accepted back in with open arms now. No. Yeah, a lot of bullshit information has been fed to these people, but they ate it up. I'm sorry, I'm not willing to hold hands with somebody who for the last decade has been consistently voting against my rights, whether gleefully or because they were misinformed. Again, it's often both. And like,
notice, so now we find out that the most vulnerable, it isn't even the illegals. It isn't even the goddamn gays. She just told you exactly who the most vulnerable is in her eyes, which is Nabisco women. Oh, I'm not going to hold hands with people who voted against my rights. And she said you should be listening to the most vulnerable. So what she's saying is y'all need to be listening to Nabisco white women. Oh yeah, you let them talk.
y'all, I get it. I get we want our people back. We miss our families, but just be careful, right? Because I'm seeing a lot of, I think, well-meaning white people on the left. Just be careful what you're asking from marginalized communities right now, as it seems like these people are waking up. If you're
Notice how she took it to marginalized communities when she's a part of the dominant society. But a few seconds ago, she was more concerned about listening to the most vulnerable, where she just exposed that she believes is white women.
really waking up, if you're on the right and you're really waking up, the next step is going to be deconstructing from your bigotry. It's going to be deconstructing from racism and sexism, right? You're realizing that the people in power are trying to keep us all divided. It is through bigotry. That's what keeps us divided. We have to work on that. Why can't the revolution just be blue? Why do we have to accept the red in? Do you know what I mean? Why can't you fully purge the poison?
Why can't you fully purge the poison? Why can't we have LGBTQ everywhere throughout the United States, in in women's bathrooms and women's sports? Why can't we just put illegals in black communities as much as we want? Why can't we just get rid of all the red? Not saying that the red is stopping some of that, but at the moment in time when you're talking about illegals, yeah, Trump is, for the most part, doing something. I'm not going to say doing as much as he could, because he needs to be going after the people who are incentivizing these people, but they're going after those folks. You see, like I said, she don't want to change. None of these people want to change what's happening to foundational Black Americans. None of these people want to actually eliminate the system of injustice and replace it with a system of justice. No, they want to control it. They want to be the ones who control it. You heard the Asian lady say she wants to be a deeper blue. And then you heard this Nabisco right here talk about why can't we just eliminate the full side of the red? We won't need it. Just vote more blue. Like I said, we're not having the same conversations. So if you are a Black liberal, if you're a Black conservative that is even talking on this situation, you're making yourself look like a fool, because they're not talking about doing anything that benefits you. It's about benefiting them and their comfortability, their comfortable place in white supremacist system. It's not about dismantling that system of injustice. and replacing it with a system of justice, like Neely Fuller said. It's about making sure they are more comfortable. And once they get that comfortability, what do? Oh, they teeter off. They leave us to deal with the same issues we had before the unification, if not worse. So that's that. Let me go here real quick, family. I don't know why the heck this thing messes with my... It didn't mess with all my clips, huh? Give me a hot second, family. They didn't mess with the last of my clips. All right. Let's go here, family. Oh, my bad, family. I thought I brought it up. Let's go here.
Why I have a hard time trusting this purple revolution.
If you're a leftist, I have a strong fucking message for you.
Not that. That's fine. Stick with me, though.
Hi, I'm Hunter Howell, and I want to be your friend.
And yes, I know who Hunter is. I watched a lot of his streams over the last year, before the election, when he was really rooting hard for our current president.
Now, just because I lean right on some issues, we all can agree that our government is occupied by Israel, by AIPAC, by Netanyahu, by the IDF.
Yes, we can agree to that, and I think there were plenty of people talking about this even before the election.
And it's time for a change. And in order to make that change, we need what's called a purple revolution.
We're almost there. Hold on, you'll see.
We can go back to disagreements later.
What kind of differences, Hunter? What kind of differences are we talking about?
Petty differences aside.
And there it is, petty differences. Now, when you say petty differences, what differences are you talking about exactly?
Some formal policy in regards to domestic issues.
Now, he didn't clarify which domestic issues he was talking about, but let's talk about a few domestic issues that we will simply not be able to disagree on and everything just be okay. Now, Hunter, I'm going to assume that you and me are alike in the fact that we are both white, straight males. But here's a few things. The LGBTQIA plus community deserves to be free and happy to love who they love, be who they are, and this includes...
Notice what these folks keep on bringing up first. They keep on bringing up the rainbow community. They consistently bring up the rainbow community. Let's let them continue.
Gay people, trans people, the whole 9 yards. Women deserve to be free to make their own healthcare decisions and decisions about their body without input from you and me. People that are different.
Once again, it went what? Rainbow. Then it went to women. Let's just see if he goes to people of color next.
Skin tone than us, they deserve to be treated with respect and have all the same freedoms that we have. Undocumented immigrants deserve to be treated with respect given...
No, he didn't even go to the people of color. He jumped over people of color and started talking about illegals, undocumented. Oh, whoa, let me run that back.
Due process, community deserves to be free and happy to love who they love, be who they are, and this includes gay people, trans people, the whole 9 yards. Women deserve to be free to make their own healthcare decisions and decisions about their body without input from you and me. People that are a different skin tone than us, they deserve to be treated with respect and have all the same freedoms that we have. Undocumented immigrants deserve to be treated with...
Oh, okay, he did. All right, he didn't skip over. He said people with the same skin tone, with different skin tone from us, deserves to be treated with respect and dignity. Okay. But he's not saying black people. He's not saying foundational black Americans. So that means, once again, POCs. And then he goes right into undocumented.
Gay people, trans people, the whole 9 yards. Women deserve to be free to make their own healthcare decisions and decisions about their body without input from you and me. People that are a different skin tone than us, they deserve to be treated with respect and have all the same freedoms that we have. Undocumented immigrants deserve to be treated with respect, given due process, and treated like they matter, like they're actual human beings. I could go on and on and on, but if those are what you call petty differences...
So, family, he went in the same order as that other lady. She said what? Queer people, women, people of color, immigrants. The exact same order he went in. Let him continue.
Those are not petty differences. Those are human rights. Those are morals that I can never compromise on. And this, and the way that video and the way that he framed that is why right now at this point, I don't trust this purple revolution. I would say sorry, not sorry, but respectfully, it's just not sorry because there's no compromise on human rights. And unless that's part of the revolution and part of this conversation, then there's really nothing we have to talk about.
All right. That's that, dude. Let's go here.
Because we've been so divided. But now that we're unified and able to lock arms with each other, we can come up with solutions to these issues that have been going on for way too long. It's about including everyone from every race, every identity, every background, every culture. In this country, we need to be unified enough to have those conversations, and it just hasn't been happening yet. I hope that this is bringing some clarity. The Purple Revolution has never ever said that it was going to wait until after the revolution to have those conversations. It's just about, we have to build trust enough to be unified to have those conversations.
Before I let him go, these people just a little while ago, was praising Charlie Kirk, was making excuses for Charlie Kirk. And now they want people to believe that they want unity amongst everybody. No. Like I said, don't let that fool you. These people think that they're smarter than an average bear. Salute to Snatch Adams for being a member for 1 month. I appreciate your contribution, family. And I'm sorry I didn't even see this, but it just popped up on me. FBAs are no longer doing it for free. Now, we're heroes for hire. That's right. Hey, you might as well say that this is the boys. You can pay us for our services, but that's it. That is it. So shout out to you. Like I said, thank you for your contribution, family. Let's get in here. Let's continue here.
Hey, so I can't stitch a stitch, so I'm having to just create this video from scratch, and I'll tag you in the response. First off, thank you for your response. Thank you for being respectful. And if you feel like I've been disrespectful or unkind in any way in my comments, I apologize. That was not my intention. I've just been going around in circles with people in the Purple Revolution nonstop for the last several days. I'm starting to get a little frustrated about it. Now, I want to go ahead and address a couple of things. One, you said that no one in the Purple Revolution is saying that we have to wait until after the revolution in order to address these things, and you actually are not correct in that. Literally everybody that I've talked to has said that. You might not be saying that, but all the content creators and all the people in my comments are saying that we're not focusing on any of the politics until after we unite and overthrow this shit. And that's what has me scared. So you think I'm missing the point. I'm not missing the point. I get the point. We all come together and we all overthrow authoritarianism. You're missing the point. You're missing my point. You are so fixated on your one talking point of unity that you're missing the forest for the trees. You are so fixated on this one topic of unity and that if we're united, we can win, that you're not seeing how revolutions work. That's what I'm trying to help you guys understand. I'm not trying to be anti-unity. I'm not trying to be divisive. I'm trying to help you understand how revolutions actually work. And that is that they create power vacuums. It's happened in every revolution. The Revolutionary War, we ended up in the Articles of Confederation, which was state-ran governments with no federal government. It created a power vacuum. And who took power? Rich white men. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, a war general, and 3 lawyers. Obviously, there were more people than that, right? There was Benjamin Franklin, which he never was actually in power, but he helped draft the Constitution in a way that benefited him as a rich white man. The French Revolution. Middle-class rich white men took power, and then eventually the aristocrats that survived took back over power, and it ended up worse for France than it was before. Revolutions are bloody, and they always turn out worse, especially for marginalized groups. Now, you talk about unity for all, and that's great. I'm behind you if it's truly unity for all. But if it's unity for all, it should be easy for you to say you are pro-trans, anti-class warfare, pro-queer, pro-women's rights, pro all the human rights for everybody without any caveats. And if you can't, that's not true unity. If you can't, that's selective unity for people who look like me. And it will only benefit people who look like me in the end. All I'm saying is that revolutions don't work the way you think they do. If you want this revolution to work, there's only one way to actually make it work to where the world ends up better for everyone. And that is to have unity for all. You must build this on the very premise and the foundation that you are anti-class warfare, that you are pro-trans, queer, black, brown, immigrant, women, whatever the marginalized group is. It must be built on the fact that every human inherently has the same rights, no matter their sexual orientation, their religion, their background, their ethnicity, any of those things. If bigotry and prejudice end up being part of the platform in any way, shape, or form, that's not unity, and it will not work, and it will end up worse for everyone except for people who look like me. So hopefully that brings some clarity to you to what I'm actually saying. I am not anti-unity. I just don't think your movement actually wants unity for all. They just want numbers. And that's not going to work. Anyways, hope that helps.
Like I said, family, they're not having the same conversations as the black liberals and black conservatives. This man was literally telling you about how when revolutions happen, they cause a power vacuum. Why do you think he was sitting here talking about this power vacuum? Saying we need to hash things out before we unite. Because if we don't, it will create a power vacuum. And then he goes on to talk about unity. No. He said unity for everyone. I don't want unity. He's saying equality for everyone. I don't want equality because we're old. I am not equal to anybody just because y'all want to jump on this class nonsense. Like I said, most of these people, they have chosen the position that they're in on either side. They have chosen to be this liberal who's anti-black but pretends to be for black people, or POC. People have chosen to be conservatives that's against black people. At the end of the day, the one thing that black people should know is that both sides are against black people. And they have been for centuries. Let's go here, family. Because we're almost finished here.
My totally unsolicited opinion on the Purple Revolution. This is not the time. This is not what the moment calls for. The left, most of us on the left, are not interested in a reconciliation without a reckoning. Therefore, we're not interested in coming together, merging together. We need to look at more of a joint venture situation. Historically, here's an example. During World War I, the Allied forces could not have been more politically different. You had the United States, which was a democracy. You had England, which was still a monarchy. And you had Russia, a dictatorship.
The United States has never been a democracy. And these people continuously push that narrative, that lie, that misleading concept. It is not a democracy. It's never been a democracy. It is built on a republic. Even our form of voting isn't democracy because the votes doesn't go directly to the person that you're voting for, the presidency. You got to have the the electoral college vote for the president. That is not a democracy. A democracy, by definition, means majority rule. So that would mean no matter how many people's in the population, every say matters. This has never been a democracy. But let's let it continue.
So vastly different. However, they all agreed that Hitler had to be stopped and they needed to bring an end to fascism. So they came together and worked within their own ranks and their own countries toward the same goal. They didn't have to be shoulder to shoulder on the battlefield. They didn't have to be turning over war plans. They worked together to accomplish the same goal. And then they went back to their separate corners. And that's what we need, because the left has been messaging about the lies, about the atrocities, about the bad policies from the very beginning. And the right has not wanted to hear it. And no matter how they've been awakened, they still don't want to hear it from us. The right needs to get that messaging from the people on the right who are saying that their eyes have been opened. And that is where it will be most effective. And then they need time to come to terms with who they've been and decide who they want to be. Meanwhile, on the left, we have momentum and we put sweat equity into where we're at this point. We don't want to pause to come meet in the middle. So it's very important that we're able to work concurrently in parallel toward the same goal without actually having to work together. Because no matter what they've realized at this point, there are too many of us on the left who have already suffered, some people suffering in ways that will never be repaired. And we don't want to stop fighting for our democracy so we can hear them out. And they don't want to be converted to radical leftists. But if we all come together toward the same goal.
She brought up democracy again. I was just going to put it on the screen, but since she brought up democracy again, I'll read our sister Key Prince's comment. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, individual with liberty and justice for all. That's what we actually have in this country, a republic. And the Democrats, for some reason, they love to go around acting as if democracy. Do you know the United States hasn't even been considered a global democracy for some years? Almost a decade, if not more than a decade. It's not even listed as a democracy globally. Just saying, let's let this woman continue.
On our separate sides, that will be effective. So, for example, in Texas, for the No Kings protest, I would recommend having the protest in one location, putting the right on the right side of the street and the left on the left side of the street, everyone giving the same message. Because these people on the left who are feeling foolish or feeling duped are not going to want to come out to a rally with strangers from the left where there will obviously be hostility. I wouldn't want to. But if I know people who are like me, who were duped like me, who are seeing things differently are going to be there, and I can be amongst those people and have those conversations, that is going to be more helpful to the cause and more helpful to those people. So like I said, totally unsolicited. I just don't think the moment calls for a revolution. I think it calls for an alliance.
And I think that you're both failing. I'm going to be honest with you. Because if the only people that you have are your bootlicking shills, no matter what you're trying, it's going to fail. It's going to go straight to shit. That's just what it is. If you don't have that foundational Black American energy behind you, nothing you're going to do is going to work. And to the people who feel like you need to stand up for your party, who has melanated skin, all you're doing is helping them get to where they want to get to while using you as a doormat to do it. You got to understand when I say that we're not having the same conversations as these people. They're living in a whole different reality than you're living in. And you think that our realities blend. It doesn't. It doesn't whatsoever. Now, family, I'm going to play these last two clips here. And, you know, the third party people wanted to get in on this too. And notice what the third party people are saying. They're just putting it on the damn line when it comes to this. Let's go here.
Purple implies equal parts of red and blue. And while I can get behind the sentiment of the so-called purple revolution and unity, I don't understand how it works in practice, mostly because I don't see the red's contribution. This entire concept is rooted in leftist and liberal ideologies. Bernie Sanders ran entire presidential campaigns on this very concept. So I mean this with all sincerity. What is the red's contribution to this purple? Are you willing to call out the ethics of billionaires? Are you willing to advocate for the appropriate taxation of billionaires, millionaires, and corporations? Are you willing to say you want that money used for universal health care, universal access to early childhood education, universal school meals? Are you going to support LGBTQIA rights, including trans rights, women's rights, reproductive rights? Are you willing to support the rights of immigrants and acknowledge the injustice Black people and other marginalized communities in childhood education, universal school meals? Are you going to support LGBTQIA rights, including trans rights, women's rights, reproductive rights? Are you willing to support the rights of immigrants and acknowledge the injustice Black people and other marginalized communities, childhood education, universal school meals? Are you going to support LGBTQIA rights, including trans rights, women's rights, reproductive rights? Are you willing to support the rights of immigrants and acknowledge the injustice Black people and other marginalized communities in this country face? Something I need you to understand, Team Red, is that every time I vote, especially for the president, I vote for what I think is best for the country, including you. I want you to have health care. I want your kids to get the best possible education. I want you to have great infrastructure in your state. I want the best for you. I want you to have your right, whatever it is, whether it's religious or bodily autonomy. But when you walk in a voting booth, you think what's best for me at the expense of other people. So help me understand in this purple what the red is contributing. Do you have candidates lined up? How are you going to vote in midterms? Are you going to come protest with us? Are you holding your elected officials accountable during the shutdown as Democrats try to protect your access to health care? What are you doing? Or is this just a grift?
Here is my take on the Purple Revolution. Purple Revolution is a ruse, and it is a ruse designed by conservatives to reach out to liberals who love to compromise because they see compromise as something noble. And liberals compromising with conservatives is really how we kind of got here in the first place. One thing the Purple Revolution kind of gets right is that they are framing it as a top versus bottom situation. However, they should be framing it as class war. And because they're not framing it as class war, it makes me a little suspicious. And I am suspicious because if people are not framing it as class war, I'm going to assume they want to continue with the system that we currently have, a system that creates late stage capitalism, imperialism, and ultimately the fascism which we are now currently living in. Ultimately, I see the Purple Revolution only giving us a Gavin Newsom type figure and not a person who's actually interested in pushing the Overton window to the left in any meaningful way. If we really want any meaningful change in this country, it's going to mean providing for the material conditions of all people. It's going to mean healthcare for everyone. It's going to mean funding for education. It's going to mean taxing billionaires until they're at least millionaires. And it's going to mean breaking up monopolies, especially media monopolies. If the Purple Revolution doesn't stand for any of these things, then it's merely a farce and you shouldn't fall for it. And I hope you convince others to not fall for it either.
Family, like I said, they want to make it seem like it's a red thing, a blue thing. Hey, you know what? No, we got to make sure that people know that this is a class thing. Nobody's addressing the elephant in the room, which is foundational Black Americans. The things that we've gone through, the things that we are owed. They want to make it about class so bad. Let's topple the system and make it a class neutral. No, we're not doing nothing class neutral because this country owes us a debt. And we're not here to make sure that all of you guys are comfortable because the people at the top, you realize, screwed all of you out of everything. Wealth, health, freedoms. Get in line. Nothing will be done until you guys pay the debt that you owe. Salute Mental OG. Thank you for being here, family. Shalom to you. And until that happens, everything that you do will fail. Everything that you try will fail, whether on the left or on the right, or whether you guys get together and create this purple revolution. It will all fail. Because there is an ordained debt that must be paid. That's number one. Number two, we're not putting our grievances to the side for anybody. So the only people you're going to see there participating in that revolution are going to be Nabiscos, boot-licking coons, turncoats, tethers, and your intersectionalists who think that, the more people we get, the better our opportunity to fix everything outside of race. to fix everything outside of the debt that's owed to foundational Black Americans, to fix everything except for the oppressive system in itself. Like the one woman I played said, they want to get deeper into their blue. They just want to run the country while doing it. They want to be the person holding the whip. It's not about equality. It's not about class. It's not about any of that. What it is about is making sure they, once again, can come to some sort of agreement or conclusion where they're not going through so much. They're not put into situations where really other people have been for decades, but since it's now happening to them, they cry foul. None of these people are serious about any type of unity unless you're talking about making us right, making us whole for everything that's been stolen from us, from our labor to our property, our ideas, intellectual property. Y'all got to pay for all of that. You got to pay for the redlining, the Jim Crow, where y'all got all these white subsidies that you refuse to give to foundational Black Americans. Y'all was okay with that, wasn't you? In the very same way, you all was okay with the Homestead Act because it excluded foundational Black Americans. In the very same way, you all were okay with the GI Bill because it excluded foundational Black Americans. Let's get very, very honest about that. Yes, my brother, convict leasing. There is so much that you must atone for. And if you're serious about unity, those things must be atoned for first. Now, I don't know what to tell you. Y'all can take all that nonsense and shove it up your ass, right up your ass. Because until we're made whole, until the debt that this country owes is paid, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt, no matter who's in that White House. And with that being said, family, if you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear it. If you have not done so yet, please click the link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. Family, these folks, they're losing their stuff. All we have to do is sit back. We ain't got to do nothing. We ain't been doing nothing but sitting back and watching as they implode on both sides. We've seen the crash out of the Democratic Party and their shields and coons. And we've seen this crash out and other crash outs from the Republican Party with their Democrats, with their tethers and their coons. The only people that's okay in this whole situation is the people that's been sitting it out. watching from afar, eating our popcorn. I just smoked the salmon the other day. I was just sitting there eating the smoked salmon, watching all of it from afar. And like I said, now that they seeing that they can't do anything to get us out here, get us out there, excuse me. There's no antagonizing that's working. There's no situation that we feel is relevant enough to hit the streets. They got to figure out new things, figure out new ways. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not surprised that they tried to put together this purple revolution, because they always start talking about unity when the cow comes in their front yard and goes moo. They're okay with the cow shitting in everybody else's front yard, but when the cow get to their front yard and starts mooing, then all of a sudden we all need to get together and move this cow. And as my grandfather used to tell me, if you throw shit at my house, don't be surprised when someone throws shit at yours. And I'm not going to help you clean that shit up either. It is what it is. But to all the black folk, our melanated folk that put their party on their shoulder before their interest, I would suggest to you that you all start really listening to these people and paying a damn attention. Because once you do that, you'll start understanding that you are not their concern at all. Even when they say things like people of color. You got the number one grievance in the country, but you're always last on the list whenever they start listing off all of the most vulnerable people. Queers, women. Then they'll say POC are illegals, immigrants. If not saying POC last. It's like the picture, and I'm mad that I didn't pull up that picture. It's just like the picture of all the different nationalities standing in line, waiting to get their piece of cake from Uncle Sam. And everybody's gotten their piece of cake. When a black person gets up to the front of the line to get his piece of cake, there's no more cake left. We're not doing that. So to all the black folks that's okay with that, stay far away from us. With that being said, family and friends, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here. I appreciate each of you. Thank you for being all my members. Thank you for my mods. I'd like to thank everybody who donated by Cash App or Super Chat. Appreciate you. Much love to you. I appreciate everybody who's going to catch this on the replay gang. Much love to each and every one of you. And when I say family, don't let them play in your faces. Oh, they... I knew that this right here had to be a joke. Remember, family, Prince prophesied the Purple Revolution. The doors of the church are now closed. Peace, family.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
I know that the government, whatever can't stand us black people, he's doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing, us black people going to survive. So fuck everybody. I'm out.